Shalom, today we are starting our program from a few sites in Israel. We'll be visiting the Hermon, the Yamin Moshe neighborhood in Jerusalem. We'll be visiting the high skyscrapers in Tel Aviv and many more sites, but we won't be driving a lot to get from place to place. I'll explain everything in just a moment. Okay, so we're starting our program from Mini Israel. Now, many of you might refer to Israel as Mini Israel, as Israel is a miniature country. But Mini Israel is also an attraction, a tourist site, located near Latrun, on the outskirts of Jerusalem. The Mini Israel Miniature Park is Israel's most recent unique tourist attraction. The creation of Mini Israel was influenced by the Madur Adam Museum in Holland. The park, located halfway between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, features over 350 exact replica models of sites in the land of Israel. Walking through Mini Israel, preferably with a tour guide, can teach you much of the history of the land of Israel. The wide array of exhibits in the park clearly highlights the diversity in Israel. Diversity of cultures, religions, architectural styles, and topographical conditions.
It's nice here. There's everything. It's fun. There are all the famous tourist sites.
I like very much the hotel, the old Jerusalem.
It's a beautiful place, giant. We came with our school. I didn't know that there's a place like this in the country.
Plans for the future include ideas of covering and displaying many other areas of Israel, in addition to maintaining the many exhibits and over 1,300 characters scattered throughout the site.
So we have to keep what we have, and also the plan for the future is especially concerning to the areas that are not really finished, especially the south and the Arava. Some more hotels in Eilat, etc.
Tourists come to Mini Israel to get a taste of the various cultures and sites of Israel. Israelis, on the other hand, love to come and point out sites they recognize and learn of sites they had not yet visited. In the midst of this, they also gain an understanding of the historical, cultural, and archaeological uniqueness of the land of Israel.
This park should be a place to be proud of the sites and the places we have in Israel.
Mini Israel brings visitors to sites they've never actually visited and sometimes don't even know of their existence.
Because many places we didn't see physically.
Unfortunately, some of the sites you cannot visit today, or maybe some people are do not feel so comfortable in walking around in, and here you could see all of it on your palm of the hand.
I was given the opportunity to visit the north today on this tour. I was in the north only twice. I live far away in the south, in Dimona, so I don't have so many opportunities.
But could it be that the existence of such a park that brings together all the main tourist sites in Israel eventually harms the tourist industry in Israel?
I don't need to drive to Mount Hermon. I come here and see everything. I don't need to go to Akko, Nahariya, Haifa, Ashdod.
Although it's nice with everything so small, it's better to visit the real places.
I'm just kidding. I will visit the places. Meanwhile, we're here, touring and having fun. But in our next opportunity, we'll actually visit all the places.
From the Mini Israel site near Latrun, that's all for now. We'll be continuing now to Jerusalem, where a special book fair is taking place, a book fair which is taking place also throughout the whole country of Israel.
Please send your comments, ideas, and questions to the Israeli Salad email, yoni@israelnn.com.
Okay, we're now at the Israel Museum in Jerusalem at the Book Week, one of the big celebrations. It's an annual celebration of books in Israel. On the summer of 1926, on the Rothschild Boulevard in Tel Aviv, the first Hebrew Book Day took place. The fair, which then was a one-day celebration, developed throughout the years, and on 1961, it became the Hebrew Book Week, one of the main cultural events in Israel. On the first Hebrew Book Day, all books were sold with a 25% discount. Today, book vendors continue the tradition by offering special discounts on books throughout the country. The books are sold in many bookstores in Israel and in central locations like the Israel Museum in Jerusalem and Rabin Square in Tel Aviv. On the fair you could find a wide variety of books involving Torah studies, novels, comic books, and more. The crowd that comes to take part in the Book Week is very diverse as well.
The beauty of this week is that everybody comes. Religious, non-religious, from the right, from the left, young, old, everybody comes. Israelis, Americans.
From all parts of society, all kinds, good people who stay loyal to Jewish books.
I think the Israeli public does like books. They read a lot of books. They buy quite a bit of books.
In Israel, about 4,000 books are published each year. On the Hebrew Book Week, authors arrive at the different locations, meet the readers, and sign their books. But has the internet and television put aside the world of literature?
Oh, take a look around you. Look at how many people showed up. It's wonderful to see. So people do read.
There's sometimes a feeling in the past years that the book is losing its position because of TV and movies. But it turns out that that's not true. The interest, the buying and hopefully also reading of the books is very encouraging in our reality.
From the Israel Museum in Jerusalem, that's all for now. We'll be back in the studio right after this.
You're watching Israeli Salad on Israel National TV.
Welcome back. The state law, which obligates all Jewish couples to marry according to Jewish religious law, guarantees the continuation of the Jewish people according to Jewish tradition. Former Chief Sephardic Rabbi Bakshi Doron recently made a controversial statement regarding the laws governing marriage in Israel, and an ongoing debate rages in the country surrounding this issue. But everyone agrees that a religious precept must not be seen as only a legal law, but rather as a rule with spiritual and holy meaning. The Tzohar organization tries to help in this area by making the religious Jewish wedding ceremony interesting, attractive, personal, and far from just a legal procedure. In Israel, if an engaged couple has no rabbi, they must turn to the Israeli chief rabbinate in order to hire a rabbi who will lead their wedding ceremony. The Tzohar organization decided to offer an alternative in order to prevent people from being deterred from the Jewish traditional wedding ceremony.
We got the impression that the whole issue of paying for a rabbi to lead the wedding chuppah ceremony was something that bothered many people.
Many young non-observant couples feel that they want a traditional wedding ceremony but are turned off by the official rabbinical authority. The Tzohar organization tries to help these couples by providing a wedding rabbi for free.
Personal connection with couples is something that an official authority finds hard to maintain. That's why many organizations have been set up to help in this area. One of these organizations is Tzohar. We didn't want to compromise like many of our friends. We wanted to do it the Jewish way, 100% Orthodox. What was important was the personality of the rabbi. We wanted someone who would represent Judaism.
And the ceremony. We wanted the ceremony not to be cold. We wanted it to be understandable to people and to us.
The Tzohar rabbis bring life into a religious ceremony that can sometimes leave Jews who aren't close to tradition feeling disconnected. Humor, singing, and explanations about the ceremony's procedures help connect the couple, the families, and the guests to the chuppah ceremony.
Our rabbis hold one ceremony per evening. That way, they're concentrating on one specific couple. They're not stressed and not rushing to leave early.
Let me remind you that everything is voluntary. All we need is a cab to come and pick up the rabbi and bring him home.
In addition to the personal touch, there's the issue of Jewish halacha. It shouldn't become business.
מקדש עמו ישראל על ידי חופה וקידושין.
In the Israel Rabbinate Authority, there are mixed responses to Tzohar's activities.
Some rabbis, idealistic rabbis, see us as messengers of the system, and they're very happy with Tzohar's existence. But some parts of the institutionalized rabbinate are against Tzohar because of honor or for economic reasons.
People look at the rabbinate as an authority that you must meet if you want a traditional Jewish wedding. If there is a traditional Jewish alternative, it would be the right move.
מקודשת, מקודשת, מקודשת.
Last week, Rabbi Samson talked about the meaning of the verse of Shema. This week, we'll continue on this issue. Rabbi Samson is now with us by phone. Shalom, Rabbi David Samson.
Hi, Yoni. Shalom to all of our viewers.
Rabbi Samson, we received the following message from David Jakovitz, one of our viewers, regarding last week's insight.
Shalom, Yoni. I was puzzled by a comment made last week by Rabbi Samson regarding the Shema. He emphasized that we're supposed to say the Shema thinking that we are ready to give our lives for our Judaism. But the Shema has so many other meanings. Why do we wish to emphasize the martyrdom aspect exclusively? Particularly within the current difficult climate with suicide bombers devastating us, we shouldn't foster a preoccupation with death in the midst of our beautiful prayer of Shema. We're better off promoting its meaning, the ultimate declaration of fealty to Hashem in the steps of our ancestors.
Wow, that's a really very powerful statement and a powerful letter. It comes from a real desire for life. I think that the understanding of the Shema in its entire perspective comes with an understanding of what life means, and that in Judaism there's a life and death continuum, which is a very deep concept, that those that are cleaving to God cleave to life, and that God is the absolute definition of life in this and the next world. I'll tell you, Yoni, when we discuss this prayer, this is like the battery power of every Jew, wherever he goes, whatever he does. This is the source of his life. As a result of having full concentration in this Shema, this is a life-breeding concept. It's not brooding on death or being in any way negative, moping, suicide bombers. We're talking about something which is the source of life, and that by cleaving to God, you're cleaving to life, which includes biological life.
Now, I wanted to ask you something about Machon Meir, who helps us produce our weekly insight. Machon Meir, the largest Zionist organization bringing people close to Judaism, just recently celebrated its 30th anniversary. You participated in these celebrations. How was it?
It was really, for me personally, it was a very moving experience to see all of my friends and students and teachers that I've known for the last, I guess it's been 30 years since Machon Meir started. And to see the effect that it has on thousands and thousands of people. By the way, Yoni, one person came up to me and said, "Oh, you're Rabbi Samson. I saw you on the Arutz Sheva internet show, and I wait to see you." So I know that at least one person is out there watching us.
Well, that's great news. Okay, thank you very much, Rabbi Samson. Here's a look at the Institute of Machon Meir.
I originally came to Israel on a stage program. I was working in an internship, and I was looking for a place to learn half day in the afternoons. And I stumbled across Machon Meir. I was looking for a place with a Zionist outlook, and my first stop was here. And luckily so, because it suited what I was looking for.
Machon Meir is a very, very unique institution for bringing people closer to their heritage, to their roots, to their nation and their state. And the unique part is that it's the only institution, maybe in the entire country, that's producing a very authentic type of Judaism, which is related to the roots of the nation, roots of Zionism, and the roots of the state of Israel, through the spirit, of course, of Rav Kook's philosophy, and bringing these students, by their own will and desire, to a closer sense of connection to their Judaism and Torah.
I came in February of '99, and the sole reason of coming was to go to an Ulpan, to go to just learn a little Hebrew. I wasn't religious, and I had small connection. I was very proud to be Jewish, but I had no real connection to any of the actual religious aspects. I came here with 1 month left on my ticket, and I decided to stay.
I study a lot about the Jewish roots and the connection between land and religion in Israel, the real connection for that.
With my Judaism came that I had to be Zionist. As much as someone, I guess in America, learns you have to put on tefillin and you have to say Kriyat Shema, I also said you have to live in Israel.
And they really encourage you to advance at every stage of your growth within your learning.
I made Aliyah 1 year ago, and now I got accepted to Bar Ilan University. I am engaged and happy.
The Weekly Insight is brought to you in cooperation with Machon Meir, the largest Zionist institute in Israel, bringing people closer to Judaism.
Coming up next week on Israeli Salad.
In Ivrit, in Hebrew, there's no word for a male that works with kids. A ganenet, a kindergarten teacher, is just a woman. There's no word for a man.
That's all for this week. Join us again next week for another program. Until then, from all of us here at Israel National TV, Shalom.